So today's race day. Today's race is going to be in New York City. It's this little crit circuit that you don't usually have access to on Zwift unless you're racing, or I think potentially part of some of the longer rides. So it's not a course that I've done. I've seen a couple of people race it and it looks quite hard. I think mainly it's quite short. It's like 2k laps and we've got about 14 laps. It's got a couple of little rollers and generally quite flat, so I think people aren't really going to be able to get away, so it's just going to be sort of hammer down, pushing it from the start right to the finish. Probably come down to a sprint finish, which I'm not sure is my forte, but let's see. Obviously really chuffed with the result last week. Spent the first lap hanging on. When I made it that first time up Box Hill, was just pretty happy to still be there. Just thought, right, second time up Box Hill, just got to give it everything, try and keep in there. Lucy and Emma had gone off the front and had quite big gaps, so it's quite obvious we weren't going to catch them. But I was sat in a little group with people like Flora Duffy and Sophie Caldwell, so I was like, well, if I can just try and hang on to these ladies and just see what happens. Yeah, managed to hang in there and managed to find some kind of power for a little sprint to come in and take fourth. So yeah, pretty happy with that, I think.
Do I get to count that as a victory over Flora Duffy?
Definitely shows that the e-racing is just a completely different world. I think take me into the real world and there's no chance that I'd beat someone like Flora or Sophie in a sprint on the bike, but I'll take it as a victory. Well, not a victory, I wasn't even on the podium, but got to take the small wins, trying to be reasonably competitive against women like that. Zwift have changed up the format a little bit, so I think after last week, the men's race in particular, there's been some noise about fairness and people potentially not having the same kind of equipment, and some people's equipment reads very differently to other people's, etc. So they have tried to make it a bit fairer, and they have split both the men's and the women's into an A race and a B race. For the A race, generally speaking, it was taken off PTO or WTS rankings or having a Zwift Pro tick, which I think you just have to win an Ironman as a pro to do that. So originally I wasn't meant to be in the A race, which I was obviously pretty gutted about. It's kind of been the highlight of my last couple of weeks, having the Zwift racing, but fortunately not that many women were signed up, so I managed to get into the A race, which was good. So I also thought I should probably validate my weight. Don't usually have scales to go off and not really in the habit of weighing myself that much. Probably a little bit heavier than I thought I might be. Clearly the wine and chocolate has caught me up a little bit. I fluctuate quite a lot during the month. A lot of other girls will find this, that hormones play quite a big part and water retention. So I am on my heaviest week that I would be anyway. But yeah, probably not ideal for for the sake of racing. Looking forward to it. Just looking forward to another good tough workout and see how it goes. Going for proper race vibes today, seeing as the vote was that I should do it in my race kit, give everyone a bit of a preview. So we've even gone for trying to do a little bit of a braid. As you can see, my home braiding on myself needs a little bit of work, but makes me feel a little bit more race-like. New race suit, as you can see, pretty nice. Not sure I'd recommend trying to put on the race suit when you've spent the last month from being race ready and pretty fit to then probably eating a little bit too much wine and chocolate. Although, yeah, it still feels alright. Let's go put it to the test and see how it gets on in the race.
Nobody knows where she's at. A couple ghosts going off. So there we go. Lucy Charles Barkley, Sophie Caldwell at the front battling. The gaps are opening up. It looks like it's three are still in it. It's Maurer and Caldwell and Lucy Charles Barkley at the sprint, but it could have gone too early.
Here we go. The finish line right ahead. Caldwell with the sprint. Moving. Going. Hard to tell there. Very close for Caldwell.
another brutal Zwift race in the bag. That was pretty good fun. That course, that crit course, it's quite, I have to say, like the little lumps right after the start, they're like a little bit more vicious than you think, so that really takes it out your legs a little bit every lap. But yeah, the rest of it then, it's all just pretty flat. It's about just trying to sit in the pack, trying to keep with everyone. I think more than anything, you can see in that kind of race how much the drafting makes a difference with the pack. I was mainly just concentrating the whole way around on trying to keep with that front group, trying to keep in a good position, trying to be able to watch any moves that go. I think it was quite obvious that there wasn't going to be any like proper breakaways. Felt pretty good most of the way around that. I'm actually on recovery week this week, so a couple of easy days before has really made a difference. Thought I could potentially have done a bit better, but I think again there's still a bit of an art to Zwift racing. As we were coming up to the final sprint, I had, what did I have? I think I had an aero boost. I can't actually remember now. Or maybe it was a Ghost. I'm not sure. But anyway, either way, whatever it was, I was sort of thinking about when I should use it and when would be best. And I was a bit nervous about how far out to sprint from. And I think I just left it actually just a little bit too late. Probably should have started sprinting maybe like 100 metres earlier, and that might have helped me a little bit. But yeah, pretty happy with that. Another top 5, we'll take it. Maybe if I drink a little bit less wine and eat a little bit less chocolate before next week, my weight might be a little bit closer to race weight. Let's see, happy with that.